What's going on? This your boy, Chris Simmons, coming to you with another podcast episode. And as always, I'm with my fabulous co-host, Miss Tiffany Chanel. What's going on with you, girl? How you doing?
What's happening? Good. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling blessed and working on new projects, keeping me busy. So God is good. God is good.
Man, amen. For those of y'all who were not familiar, Miss Tiffany could not be on my last Motivational Monday episode because she had to take care of some family business, but she is back and we are ready to do our Toxic Tuesday segment. But before I get into that, I just have to talk about, I have to mention my yoga session. So, Miss Tiffany, I actually tried the hot yoga over the weekend and it was phenomenal. It was burning, like it was like being in the sauna. Like the dude who was running the class put the temperature up to over 100 degrees, and it was, man, it was so hot. I mean, I had to take my shirt off, bro. I was like, man, I can't. My shirt was soaking. I was sliding on the mat because I was so sweaty, bro. But it was a good experience. Like it was a step up from what I was usually doing because usually I was doing a slow flow, but this was hot power yoga. Man was moving fast. He had me working, bro, but it was good. I would definitely do it again because they say that when you stretch in hot climates, like it really opens up that body. It really opens up the muscles. So I definitely felt relieved afterward. So I'll probably go back this weekend. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? But it was a great experience. I had a great weekend. Spent time with the family. You know what I mean? I went, had a nice dinner with them, did some fun activities, went to Top Golf,
Hey, I
had some
love
fun
that.
out there. Oh yeah, no. The thing with Top Golf is you don't even need to be good at golf to even win. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Right.
may not be hitting it out there, but as long as you hit it in the little holes, like you keep hitting them holes, man, you can win that game. Cause that's literally me. Like I couldn't even hit that ball that far, but I kept hitting it in that little center hole and it kept giving me points. So I was like, all right, bet. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I won a few games that we played. And yeah, but it was fun though. It was fun to be with the family, because I know, in the month of August, everybody going back to work, you know what I'm saying? Summer pretty much over at that point. So, everybody gotta go back to the grind. So yeah, so that's just been me. Um, I know Miss Tiffany been pretty busy. Miss Tiffany, you want to tell them what you've been up to?
No, just working on some projects, getting things ready for to bring out into the community and to be able to help more people. I was able to do some mission work over the weekend, helping out a rescue victim of human trafficking. And it felt good to be able to help someone and, get them off the streets and get them into a better place. And that felt good this weekend. And I just want to go bigger, and help a larger range of people. So I've just been focusing on healing the community and bringing back the things that are necessary, like food and shelter and hope and inspiration and love. That's what all these communities need that are lacking. And I just want to be, a part of that, to bring my love and light into all the communities and be able to help in a philanthropic way. So that's mainly what I've been focusing on, different projects that I could create to help everybody in every community go bigger or go home, basically.
Right.
and I want to go big.
All right, Miss Tiffany, we see you. Come on, create the change, baby. Create that change, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think that every time I talk to Miss Tiffany, she's always doing something new, always doing some new projects and stuff like that. So I applaud Miss Tiffany being involved, actively involved in her community. That's what's up. That's what's up. And I'm looking forward to being able to do some of this stuff with her, man. Uh, actually over the weekend, man, I heard on Sunday, I heard a phenomenal service by my pastor. And it was crazy how he was talking about the direction of the church, and he actually got a second building for the church. So now there's about to be two buildings that people can go to in the Cincinnati area. Um, it's just crazy, man, how that church has evolved. Starting with just being at a school. Because I remember when I went to that church. The name of the church is City Gate, by the way. City Gate Church in Cincinnati, based out of Cincinnati. It's crazy how their journey to get in the building was tough. They had to have the door shut on them 7 times before they were finally able to get a building. And then and then when they got a building, now they got a second building. So it's just crazy how they've just had faith the whole time. I remember when I first started with going to that church, they were in a school. They had to rent out a school. So it wasn't there. So they had to, take all their stuff, take it out to school and, continue to keep doing that. But now, the journey has come to where they have their own stuff now. So it's crazy. And it kind of gave me that idea, to start looking for buildings for this podcast. Cause I'm serious when I say I want to take this out to Dallas. I started looking at some places, trying to see what could be a great place for this podcast to be in, you know what I'm saying? So I started taking that leap of faith and I started looking at some real estate, man, trying to look at what could be some good buildings, for this podcast to be hosting in. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm taking that leap of faith and I'm gonna see what can happen, what could potentially happen in this future. So that's what we're working on right now. But anyway, we're gonna get right into the episode, and Miss Tiffany's gonna lead this one off. This is going to be a very interesting topic, something that we've all been through. I mean, I got a lot to speak on this topic right here. Because, I've been through it several times. Like, trust me, I've been through it. You know what I'm saying? So, Miss Tiffany, do you want to go ahead and kick it off? You know what I'm saying?
So everybody, today's Toxic Tuesday topic is breakup season. Oh my gosh, if you're not going through a breakup, this is not for you. But most of us have either been through one or going through one right now. A lot of people that I know and a lot of stories that I've heard is about a lot of breakups. I myself went through a breakup, a while ago. And, you got to heal from that. It doesn't matter when the breakup actually happened. It matters the time in which you get over it. When you're over it, then it's a full breakup. But when you're still like going through it, it's like it just happened. You really still processing. You don't have clarity or understanding. It's like an ongoing process. It's like the breakup keeps happening over and over every day. It's like Groundhog's Day for breakups. You wake up and it's like, dang, that person's not here, and when you get to the point to where you accepted the breakup and you have full understanding and understand the whole point of why that person came in your life, then now it's like, okay, breakup season is over. So your breakup season can last as long as you want it to. And that's what I want to talk to you guys today about is how long are you going to let your breakup season last and ways to cope versus filling the void. And the best way to cope is reflecting. Most people think that reflecting is reminiscing, but it's not. Reflecting is inserting yourself. Reminiscing is thinking about things that have happened and you're just kind of remembering the memory, but reflecting is trying to find the lesson. When you reflect, you're like, where did I do wrong? What was my part in the situation? What was their part? What I could have done better? Where were the red flags? It's not the woulda, coulda, shouldas, but it's find the lesson so you can grow from it. And you have to do that every day. Whenever you feel like just going to party to get your mind off of things, because every day that breakup is going to hit you in the morning like a ton of bricks. Like, oh my God, you have that feeling of loss. You have that feeling of discontent. You have that feeling that you may be not worthy. It's a lot of things that come into play. But when we meet people, it is a guarantee that that person is either a lesson or a blessing. And you have to distinguish during your reflection time which one that was. Were you the blessing or were you the lesson, or were they the lesson and were you the blessing? Because everybody wants to point the finger and say, well, they did this wrong, but then again, I did this wrong, so then I should accept them back, or I should try to make it work because I was wrong. No, that's not the case. Things ended for a reason, and you have to discover what role does that play in your life? Was this similar to your other breakups? Was this person like your other relationships? And 9 times out of 10, it's habitual. We run into the same person with different faces. So then you realize, oh my God, this is a lesson. What can I learn from this? What did I do wrong? Oh, I ignored those red flags. When you start to gain understanding of why you keep meeting the same person with different faces and, different attributes and, different bank accounts. They're all different, but it's the same lesson that you keep hitting. If the breakup keeps happening the same way, you keep cheating or you keep getting cheated on, there's a lesson of somewhere in there of self-respect. Usually in relationships, it's always about some type of self-respect or a boundary that has been crossed. And we have to go back and find out how we allowed this to happen. And it's not to beat yourself up, but it's to actually forgive yourself and be able to forgive that person so you can end your breakup season. And one of the ways to do that is talk out loud. When you feel anxiety or neediness, or you're feeling that feeling of loss, talk your feelings out. You don't always have to phone a friend, because 9 times out of 10, when you phone a friend, you're repeating the same things over to them. They're getting the lesson that you learned, but you're not getting it. And the answers is always within inside of you. You already have the answers because you were there yourself. The person that you called wasn't there. Your best friend wasn't there when you were arguing. And the first thing you're going to say when they give their opinion is, you weren't there. You don't know what happened. You're right. They don't know what happened. So don't involve them in your situation. They wasn't there when you broke up, and they weren't there when you got together. Just exit out of that mind frame that you need someone to vent to yourself. And when you're venting to yourself, God hears you. And when God hears you, he will guide you. He hear your soul cries and hear your actual cries at night. And another thing to do is make it a priority to go to bed before midnight. Get a full night's rest, because it's a huge factor in healing. Because avoid, not getting enough sleep, because then your mind can't function. Then when your mind can't function, that's your way to move. You won't move as much. You're sluggish. You just feel more down, when actually you're just tired. You're not really depressed over your relationship ending. You're just tired, because you stayed up all night, reminiscing instead of reflecting. When you reflect, you gain understanding rather quickly, and you will learn different things. And the one thing that happens when you encounter someone that's a lesson, they are a mirror of you. So when you keep running into the same person with the same situations, and you feel like you're learning the same lesson with different people, they're reflecting your own behavior. That's why it's good to reflect, because people mirror you. It's a reflection of your choices. The people that you date are a reflection of your choices. So when you actually gain that understanding of, what choice did I make to date this person? Because you have a choice. You can say no or say yes when someone asks you out, or wants a commitment from you. You chose to commit to this person for a reason. Gain understanding and clarity is another key way to heal yourself during breakup season. And also avoid oversleeping. Most of us want to say, I can't figure this out, let me take a nap. And when you start kind of getting yourself and being more asleep and rather than action, every time you awake, it's like their wound reappears. You're trying to sleep it away, and really you're creating yourself to fall into a depression, because then when you oversleep, you lack energy. And when you lack energy, the days seem so long because you're not putting enough action into them. Days go by a lot quicker and kind of on time when you're actually putting action into your day. But when you lack action and you're just kind of in your head and not your heart about it, because when you reflect, you're in your heart. When you reminisce, you're in your head, because your mind is the storage place for your memories. So you're just remembering all the great things and what coulda, shoulda. But when you reflect, you actually bring more awareness and reality into the situation of what is a reflection of you. What did that person mirror in you? The same person you keep dating people and they keep making you angry. It's something that is a reflection. What is making them angry? Does that have anything to do with any wounds from your past, any childhood wounds, any type of tragedies you've experienced? You got to reflect so you can grow from that situation, so you can then have a better relationship. Because the first thing that we think of when we break up is we're not going to find anybody better. We have to start all over. It's such a long process. It's just like when you get fired from a job. Now you got to redo your resume. Now you have to go on more interviews and search for a better job. And you want one that's better than the last. You want one that's paying better, more perks, maybe your own parking spot, something that people would, commend you for attaining, and we do that when we date people as well. We want an upgrade. And the only way that you can deserve that upgrade is if you upgrade yourself. Most of us just seek the upgrade and not actually upgrade ourselves, because we were in such that low vibrational energy in that relationship. We have now adopted that low vibrational energy, which is not attractive to most people. So now you have to heal and uplift and bring your vibration high back into who you really are, because that relationship took a lot out of you. But most importantly, when you heal from it, it actually puts more back into you. You put growth, you put intuition, you put wisdom, you put knowledge, you gain knowledge. Every day you wake up, you are meant to learn a lesson, and you are meant to gain knowledge to go forward. But when you continuously repeat the same patterns, you're going to get the same results. So when most people break up, what do? We go party, we might drink, we might even, isolate. Some people isolate, some people kind of just insert ourselves in our family's lives and our friends' business because we feel we have no business. But that's the wrong thing to do. The second way to deal with going through this breakup season, as part of your healing, is to create new hobbies. Do things you wouldn't normally do. Like if you normally play basketball all the time and do the same thing with your buddies, and they're not wanting to play basketball today, you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? I got to play with someone. Try something different. Go ice skating, go to a batting range, something that you never tried. Go try a tennis club. Try to meet new people that's on a vibration in which you want to be on. And in order for you to do that, you have to be on that vibration. You have to be happy. You have to be in the present moment. You can't be in the past of what has happened, or in the future or what is going to happen, because the only way the future even exists is in the present moment. What you do now is going to be the action that's put towards your future, right? And the past has already taken place. So you can't really change that. So when you're in the present moment, you're sitting with yourself, like, I just broke up from, such and such, my ex, I'm feeling like, what can I do to make me happy? What makes you happy? That is good for your health, your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. What is good for that? Activities, taking action. Because when you're in the present moment and actively doing something, your mind can't be on the past or in the future, because you're trying to learn how to bat. You're trying to learn how to play tennis. You're focused on what you're doing right now. And another way to go through this breakup season is daily routines. Daily routines is just like picking up that new hobby. It keeps us in the moment. Set a schedule to do things. It doesn't matter what things that they are, but as long as they're things that make you happy and that is not detrimental to you. Yeah, we all love drinking. Yeah, we all love partying, but those are void fillers, because usually we want to do those when we're feeling happy. So if you're not feeling happy, avoid drinking. Those are like celebratory times, because if you drink, it's a depressant. Alcohol is a depressant. It's to bring you down a little bit, and when you overindulge, it brings you all the way down. And then you get all these memories of the past pouring back in. It's taking you back to a place you don't want to be. And you go out there and party, you're not ready for that. You're not ready for social interaction. You start seeing people that remind you of your ex, and hell, you might even see your ex. Who knows? You want to avoid that. You want to focus on your self-love. So spend time doing things that make you happy, and you want to live in happiness. And how do you live in happiness? Only say your truth. If you don't want to do something, you don't have to say, hey, that sounds whack, I don't want to do this. Can't you see I just broke up with someone? Don't say things like that. Say, yeah, thanks for the invite, but I'm making plans to do something different. It'll just make me happier to do something different. And then people will be understanding. And if they're not understanding, you stood in your truth. You're not going to feel bad, because you didn't lie, and you didn't manipulate, and you didn't sulk. You didn't hide who you are and what you want to do, and what you're feeling. And it's okay to feel. Most of us run away from our feelings because we're like, oh my God, it's going to lead us to something bad. Oh my God, I feel hurt. Feel the feelings. When you feel them, they'll eventually go away, because you're not going to keep repetitively feeling the same emotion without gaining understanding of it. When you feel it, gain the understanding, why am I feeling this way? Speak out loud, or just talk out loud to yourself, like, why am I even feeling like this? This person did this to me and I accepted it. Everybody makes mistakes. How many people don't went through this? My homegirl, she did the same thing. Like, I'm not about to end up like that. I need to, heal myself. Let me pick myself up off the floor, wipe my tears off. I'm good. I didn't lose anything. You don't lose anything from breaking up. You gain knowledge. We're supposed to gain knowledge from every situation. When you leave a job and you're fired, just because you're fired doesn't mean you don't know anything about your job. You still gain knowledge from that job, and you're going to take that knowledge in which you learn into your next job. You put it on your resume, you put it on your resume, and you build on that. and you want to go to something that's a little bit more challenging. You gain enough knowledge from there. So when you think about your relationship, you have to gain knowledge from your relationship in order to grow to the next one. Focus on your growth, focus on your healing. Don't focus on the what ifs or woulda, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Even if you made some mistakes, it's okay to reach out and ask for forgiveness. But first of all, you have to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and forgive them by yourself internally. So when you do present them with, I'm sorry for doing this, I was wrong in this situation, I just wanted to state my piece, that'll make you feel better. It'll make you feel better, putting action towards a feeling. Apologizing, those are putting actions towards a feeling, whether they blocked you or not. Even if they blocked you, deal with it internally. And if they didn't, you reach out and they say, well, yeah, I know you're a fucked up person, blah, 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 blah. It won't even matter to you because you already expressed that, you gain clarity, understanding, and you solve the problem. You don't want something weighing on you. And that's the thing about breakup season. We let things weigh on us and then we date too fast. Don't date too fast. Give yourself at least, 30 days to heal, 30 to 90 days to heal, because it takes 21 days to build a habit, but it takes 90 days to break it. You can do something for 21 days and boom, you got a habit. That's it. But it takes 90 days to break that. That's the 21-90 rule. 90 days to break that habit and feel actually solid on it. You could feel solid after a month and say, yeah, I'm pretty strong. But then as soon as that person comes back around and say, hey, they want to get back with you, now that you are all not worried about them, you got to remember those lessons that you learned, that you don't repeat those same lessons. If it was broken and it was not fixed and it just comes back to you just how it was, that it's not for you because you have healed and you have grown past that. But if you are in that same energy, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to come back to you, or definitely going to come back to you under the same energy in which you left it. Most relationships, people always, what's the saying where they're like, oh, everybody wants to see you come back. Oh, everybody comes back when you're shining bright. Now that your light is ignited, everyone wants to come back. Everyone wants a part of the stardom, but you have to realize use your discernment and your intuition to know that that's not for you. Once the way something ends, you can fix it. You fix it internally, or you can speak out. And you have to realize that the only L you take in a breakup is a lesson. That's the only L you're going to take from a breakup, is a lesson. And once you realize that and understand that and gain that I didn't take any losses, whether it was money, whether it was time, whether it was energy, it was all a lesson. You learned something from that, homegirl, homeboy, brother, sister, cousin. All y'all learned something from that. Okay. That L you took was a sure enough lesson. Okay. And as long as you can learn that lesson, I feel like you can make it through this breakup season. Healing is on the menu for breakup season. What do you think about that, Chris? What do you got for me?
Well, I definitely think you said a lot there. A lot of great points that you made. I like the L. I like how you said the L is meant for the lesson. I like that. I like how you took the L. Like when people say, "Oh, you took an L in that relationship." No, not you didn't lose, but it was a lesson, right? I love that point. But I just want to kind of just just give the audience a few just examples of what I've went through in my relationships, because I've been here like 10 times. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. I've had my heartbroken numerous times. So like when Miss Tiffany wanted to talk about this, I was like, this is perfect, because I've been here and it hurts, man. Like I know some of y'all who might be listening, y'all might be going through a breakup, and y'all might be on your way to a breakup. I don't know, man, but I'm telling you, bro, it is painful. Like even for me, it is very painful, because it feels like you really connected with that person who you were talking to, and all of a sudden it's like ripping the band-aid off. It hurts, man. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like sticking a needle in your skin. Like it's just gonna hurt. It feels like, man, like what the heck? You know what I'm saying? Because I've had instances. I remember this one time when I was dating this girl, and the day before she broke up with me, she was like, "Oh, I love you. Like, I miss you. I want to see you." And then literally the next day at 10 p.m., I'm never going to forget this. At 10 p.m. at night, I was driving through Atlanta because we were like trying to hit the halfway point before we were coming back home to Cincy. So we were driving through Atlanta, and at 10 p.m., I remember she texted me and she said, um, I think that we should just break up. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? I'm like, what happened? I'm like, you tell me you love me over here, and then you just gonna break on me like that? And I was hurt. I was like, what? She's like, well, we can be friends. Let me tell you something. When somebody tell you they want to just be friends, they lying. Okay, don't believe that. When people be like, oh, we should just be friends. No, that's just a nice way of saying I don't want to talk to you no more, man. Because I tried to talk to her after that, and she was not responding to nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I remember this recent one though. I remember this recent one really got me because I've known this girl um since middle school, man. And it was crazy how we followed each other through high school. Me and her graduated from the same high school. We went to this and we ended up going to the same college. She went to Kent State, I went to Kent State. And that was one of the first people I hung out with on campus. And I was like, she was like a really good friend of mine. And, we hung out, we would go to the dining halls, we maybe go out to eat, you know what I'm saying? And, I was like, you know what? Might as well take a shot. You know what I'm saying? So like sophomore year, it didn't really happen till like next year. Like when my sophomore year, I decided, I'm just gonna, see how it goes. I want to take this to the next level. Like we've been good friends. I'm gonna take this to the next level. And I remember the first time she said she wasn't ready. But then the second time she was like, I'm willing to give it a try. So I remember that, we were trying it out. We were trying to see what happened. And then March 2020 hit, boom, quarantine. And then, I was like trying to still keep that communication going because I know we were separate and everything like that. And then I remember like she would not text me as much as she used to. And I was like, okay, what's going on? So I remember one night I called her and she was like, oh, I'm not feeling it. And I was like, what? I was like, what? I was like, what happened? And I'll never forget what she said. She said a bunch of different things, but I'm just gonna tell you one thing that really shocked me was when she said, if it wasn't for the quarantine, things would have been different. I said, what does that have to do with anything? And that right there told me that because of hard situations, because of difficult times, I'm going to escape myself because the situation is not perfect. You know what I'm saying? So that really, really, I was like, what the heck? I was like, are you serious? You're just going to quit? Because of the quarantine, she decided to quit. And I was like, man. And that really hurt because I've known this girl for a long time. And it just felt like she just stabbed me in the back, man. And it was crazy, man. But one thing that I remember doing, I remember it hurt, man. Like I'm serious. Like Tiffany said, sometimes when you are faced with that type of situation, you tend to, think about it all the time. You think about, oh, did I do something wrong? What did I do? Is it my fault? You know what I'm saying? You kind of start second guessing yourself, kind of start thinking, did I do everything right? And I knew in my mind, I gave her everything that I had. You know what I'm saying? Like I was literally taking her out to eat. You know what I'm saying? I was spending time with her. I did everything that I could. You know what I'm saying? But and as much as it hurt for her to be like, no, we can't do this anymore. What I had to do was I just had to use that pain that I was in and use it to motivate myself, use it to improve myself as a person. You know what I'm saying? I remember, the next day, I remember the next day, I got up at like 4 o'clock in the morning because I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna use this pain and I'm gonna start working out. I'm gonna start getting up early. I'm gonna start working out, getting a routine. I started reading books. I started this podcast. I started listening to motivation because I couldn't let that sit in my mind forever. Because what some people do is when they go through a breakup, they let that experience literally take control of their routine. People sometimes don't even get out of bed. You know what I'm saying? People like are not the same. They don't act the same. You know, they be like off their rhythm because they be thinking about that person that didn't want them. You know what I'm saying? If a person breaks up with you, they're literally telling you they don't want you anymore. That's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I said, you know, I could think about it. I could think about, oh, I miss her. I wish she could come back. But the reality of the situation is she wasn't coming back. She probably did that because she wanted to move on with her life. And so I had to do the same. And so you thinking like, oh, maybe I can get this person back. No, no, listen, when you go through that, yes, it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to, you know, have feelings because everybody has feelings. Everybody has emotions. But do not let it get to a point where it's literally throwing your character off. You know what I'm saying? That's where you have to find motivation. You have to find ways to continue to improve yourself because I'm telling you, somebody who is out there for you that God has called you to be with will come because people are attracted to people who are doing well. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I had to realize that, okay, hey, maybe this wasn't who God wanted me to be with. Maybe God wanted me to see something during the quarantine to show me that, hey, when tough times hit, she ain't gonna be there. So you know what? You keep doing your thing, you keep improving yourself, you keep praying, you keep, you know, doing good deeds. I'm gonna bring you somebody who's gonna be right for you. And that's what I had to realize, that I had to just continue to keep continue to keep grinding and continue to keep improving myself in order to take my mind off it. Because if you sit there and constantly think about that person who's not coming back, it's going to be hard for you to get over it. Because that constant image of that relationship is going to continue to stick in your mind, and it's not going to get any better if you keep thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find that internal motivation. You got to use that as fuel to your fire. You got to use it as fuel to your engine to keep you going, to continue to get up in the morning and continue to do things that's going to help you improve. You know what I'm saying? And then once you start doing that, you got to be able to get rid of them. Like some people, this kills me, man. Some people be keeping old pictures, old messages. Get rid of that, bruh. Stop, stop looking at that stuff. You know what I'm saying? People be like, well, I still got pictures of my ex. Like, why? They your ex for a reason. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why y'all broke up. So it's like, how are you going to, you know, waste your time trying to find him where he at? He probably ain't, he or she probably ain't think about you no more. He or she probably moved on with their life. They probably dating somebody else. So it's like the more time you waste is the more opportunities you waste. The more time you waste trying to find that other person who's not going to come back, the more opportunities you waste, and the more time you wasting. So my thing is like, once that relationship is over, delete everything. Delete their contact, delete their picture, delete their number. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't need those constant images, right? You don't need that constant reminder of, oh, what this could have been, because that's killing you mentally, right? The only way you solve a problem is if you kill it. So if that person, if every time you see their name in your phone and it literally, and it has, you know, it causes you, you know, to have like flashbacks of that horrible relationship, delete their name, delete everything. That's what I had to do. So I wouldn't have that constant reminder. So get rid of that person on your phone because you start a new chapter. Okay? Because like I've learned this. Sometimes it's harder to get back together the second time than it is the first time. Because once you break, like it's like tearing a piece of paper. Once you tear that paper and you try to put it back together, it ain't gonna come the same. I mean, you can tape it, you can duct tape, but it ain't gonna be the same, right? It's not gonna be the same whole piece of paper. It's gonna have some broken pieces to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the reason y'all broke up is for a reason. So it's like, why are you trying so hard to get back together with somebody who may not even want you in the first place? So two things here. find that motivation, use it as fuel to be able to power through whatever it is you need to be doing. You know, start working on your dreams, start working on your goals, and continue to push yourself to greatness. And delete that information, bro. Don't even have no reminders on your phone. Just delete that boy. And then the third thing that I had to do, um, I had to find my support system. That's why I always tell my dudes is I say, listen, when y'all get y'all girlfriends and everything, keep keep the homies close. This from a dude's perspective. This from my perspective now. I don't know what the females, I don't know what y'all females be doing, but I know for the dudes, we always make sure that we don't, that we always got each other's back. Because one thing that I found helpful for me was when I did, when me and that girl and that other girl's relationship, our relationship didn't work. I remember, talking to my dudes about it. And we were just laughing, bro. I was like, hey, man, hey, you remember this girl right here? She tripping, man. She said this. My dude was like, oh, shoot, man, she tripping. You know what I'm saying? We just kind of turned it into a joke because we were just laughing at how silly it was. You know what I'm saying? And that literally took the mind off. That literally took my mind off of everything that was going on, man. Because, I had them group of dudes. I had those one or two dudes that I could talk to. And we were just laughing about it, man. We were just sitting around like, just being dudes, man. Just kind of just like, oh, man, she tripping, man. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of just vibing, just kind of just laughing about the whole thing, man, because that's what you need. Because when you look back, some of the stuff that happened, it's just laughable, man. It's just like, man, I can't believe I was worried about that. Like, why was I even tripping about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to have that support system, you know what I'm saying, that's there to catch you. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's always important to keep your friends close, because once that person like literally drops you off in the air, you're gonna have that support and matches to catch you, man. And that's what, and that was critical for me. That literally took my mind off the pain that I was dealing with, was having those dudes with me, man. Having those dudes there to vent, laugh, you know what I'm saying? And so it was just, my painkiller, man. So that was my thing, man. That was what I had to do in that breakup season, and just realize my value. I had to find who I was, because a lot of people feel like they need to be with somebody in order for them to see their value. You're never ever going to find value or happiness from another person. I'm just gonna say that again. You ain't gonna find, like, people be like, I need a man or I need a woman to make me feel some type. Like, no, you don't. That's a lie. You don't need to be with somebody to feel like, to be happy, because happiness is a state of mind. Happiness is how you perceive the situation. It's how you perceive yourself. It's how you perceive a situation. For example, when I was in high school, my first car was a 1998 Dodge Caravan. It was like the van, if you ever, the Kendrick Lamar album, I forget what album that is, but there's a picture on his album with the van, with the purple van. I forget what album it is. Somebody probably know what it is, but I forget. But if you look up Kendrick Lamar on Spotify or whatever, and you look through his albums, there's an album with the van on it. That was my van. It was a rusty van. And, the school that I went to, people was driving Lexus, BMW, they had all these nicer cars than I did. And I'm driving to school. They looking at it. They like, man, what type of car is that? Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Because, it wasn't in good condition. It was old. It was older than me. I was born in 99. It was in 98. So it was older than me. But I had a great time driving it because at that age, at 16 years old, I'm like, I'm just glad I got a car. I'm happy with the car that I had. I'm happy that it still take me to school and back. You know what I'm saying? I was happy. Why? Because of how I looked at the situation, of how I saw it. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I'm like, I'm just glad that I got a car. I'm just thankful I got a car. And I was happy with the car. It wasn't because, other people saw it. I didn't need other people's approval to make myself feel satisfied with the car I had. That's their opinion. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you think that, oh, I got to be with a person to be happy, You know what I'm saying? It's all about how, it's all about the mind. It's all about how you feel in the moment. It's all about, how your perspective on a situation, right? It's all about finding what it is that you can be able to be happy about, and whatever your perspective is, you know what I'm saying? So it's not that, oh, I need to be in a relationship to make myself happy. It's like, what, it's all in the mind. It's all about, your state of mind. So my thing is, like, don't rush into it. Like, after a breakup, don't rush into a relationship. You got to find what makes you happy, whether it's yoga, whether it's working out, whether it's, you know, hanging out with friends, whether it's playing basketball, whether it's singing, writing, whatever it is, whatever makes you happy, whatever you find that makes you happy, that's what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I said, don't rush into it. Just find who you are, find your true value, find what it is that gives you satisfaction, find what it is in yourself that you like to do that can allow you to continue to move forward in your life.
Sounds good.
Mm.
And definitely having, you know, happiness, finding happiness is very essential. It's better than filling a void, and having a good support system. If you do have a good support system, that is awesome. And I know a lot of us, we have our support system, and then we have our toxic friend, our toxic family. I call them the toxic family and friends. Avoid calling those ones. Your gut tells you that they might be toxic. 9 times out of 10, they are. And those are the family and friends that you know what they're going to say before they say it. So if you have a question in your mind, is this friend toxic? Should I tell them about my breakup? When you know that she's going to have some negative commentary to say, talking about, I told you shouldn't have been with him, or I told you should have broke up with her, or you think they might even be after your ex, want to date them after you. You feel like you scared to tell them because of that. There's a lot of situations like that. And a lot of sometimes we suspected our friends to mess with our boyfriends or exes or whatever, or girlfriends. So in that case, choose your support system wisely. Go to that friend that is going to uplift you, like Chris' friends were doing for him. Be able to make you laugh and uplift you and give you love, and not feed the seed. You don't want to feed the seed of heartbreak. Some people will just, well, what happened? What did this happen? Well, what did they do? What is those people that's just looking for, the drama in the situation, and they're not psychiatrists, counselors, coaches, or healers. That's not the place to be discussing that with your friends, because sometimes they could project their own trauma or feelings that they've experienced onto your situation, and it doesn't apply to you. So if you have uplifting friends, feed into those relationships. Supportive family members, they're going to say, hey, let me cheer you up, let's have some laughs and play some cards, get your mind off of things, to where you can put, like I said, into action, put yourself into action. You don't want to sit idle too long, because an idle mind is open to destructive thoughts. You got to keep yourself busy and focused on things, like Chris said, that make you happy, because making yourself happy is the goal we seek every day. And 9 times out of 10, most relationships end because of lack of give and take. Somebody was taking too much, somebody was giving too less. And you always got to remember that most relationships, not all, but most of them are uneven when it comes to give and take. One person always gave more than the other, no matter which level it was on. It could have been time, it could have been vulnerability, it could have been money, it could have been understanding. It could be trust and honesty. You gave more than the person gave you, or they gave you more than you gave them. And that's the first starting point to discovering the lesson in the breakup. Who gave too much and who gave too little? And if you were the one receiving too little, why did you receive that? What part of you was able to accept that person's being dishonest, that person not sharing with you, that person not giving their time to you, that person not giving you love and support, you know, cheering you on. They just kind of just blew you off with your accomplishments or whatever the case may be, you know, or if you, and why did you give so much? Why did you overgive that person? What validation were you seeking? You know, what were you trying to obtain when they weren't giving you the same back? Because when a relationship is healthy, it's an equal give and take. It's an equal understanding where you don't have to over explain yourself. You don't have to try. All you have to do is be yourself. You know, you don't have to exert too much effort because it's equal. What they give, you give. You know, it flows. You know, and that's how a healthy relationship works. And 9 times out of 10, most relationships end because they are not healthy situations. And once you can kind of grasp that idea and sit and reflect, then it's a good idea to, once you gain your own understanding of your breakup and your situation, to go out into the world and experience life again. Go out and find what makes you happy, have laughs with your friends, but you must gain that understanding and have that reflection time for at least, you know, give yourself a few weeks to kind of process what you actually accepted and what you actually gave in that relationship, to understand so you can grow from it. Because when you do step back out into the social scene, you're going to meet people, you know, and you don't want to project your baggage onto someone else or into your next relationship. So if you take that baggage and unpack it and neatly put it away, then you are not carrying anything. You become free. So unpack that baggage, unload that, figure out where the give and take went wrong, and you'll be able to heal yourself emotionally and mentally and physically. So you'll be able to get yourself back to who you really are, which is your self-confident self, okay? Where you're bold, bubbly, courageous, and feeling good about every aspect of yourself. And I really hope that, you know, everybody can make it through this breakup season. You know, the holidays are coming. They're like knocking at the corner, around the corner. You know, it's always tough going through a breakup during, you know, the holidays, but you got to think about the holidays is also the best time to meet new people. So get yourself together, unload your baggage, unload those bags from the summertime, unpack that. So, because the holidays are the best time to meet people, because why? People are already in that happy, loving, giving mode. They're opening their hearts and their mind. It's the time to give back. People just naturally get in that vibration because of the music, because of the commercials, because of the movies, because of their family coming into town. They're buying gifts. They're in a loving place. It's the best time to meet people around the holidays. So just think about getting yourself together to get back out there. You know, just because you fall off your bike don't mean you say you're not going to ride a bike again. You got a few bruises, but you get back up there. You heal those bruises. You got to put the antiseptic on it. You got to put the peroxide on it. You got to put the Band-Aid on it. You might got to put a little ice pack on it, okay? Depending on how bad it is. But you got to sit your butt down and let it heal a little bit. You're like, man, what did I do to fall off this bike? Oh, man, I pedaled too fast, or I ain't take my foot off the ground quick enough, or, you know, I did it too fast, or I won't steering right. Then you realize what you did, you done healed up. You know, now this time you going back out and you gonna have some knee pads on. You're like, shoot, just in case I mess up, because it's possibility for failure. But you know what? I realized what I did on that bike to make me fall. So at least I'm not gonna do that again, but I might mess up doing something else, but at least it'll be a new lesson. I'm not gonna repeat that same one that I just learned while I got this bruise on my knee. Okay. So get yourself back together and get out there. Don't think that breakup season has to last for a whole year. Oh, I need to take a whole year off, or I need to do this. You don't take a whole year off when you quit your job, or when your job quits you. You gotta get back out there. Life doesn't stop. You know, it's always gonna keep going. Whether you keep putting action into it or not, it will still keep going. Time keeps going. It's just going to be a lot of time for you. It's going to seem like the day is long as hell when you're not doing nothing with your day. But when you're busy doing stuff, day flies by. You're on your way. Before you know it, you over the breakup. You done healed from it before you know it. You've been doing so much stuff. It's like, dang, I didn't even think about him today. You know, I didn't even think about her today. I was doing stuff. I was out with Mark. I was out with Chris. I was doing this, da 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 da. You know, you hanging out. So you're getting your mind and your emotions intact. You got to get them to match up. Can't be emotionally out of control and mentally out of control. You don't want to do that, because when you don't know where to place your thoughts and don't have understanding, you're confused. And when you become confused, you become irrational, impulsive, destructive. And the way to release that is clarity and understanding of your situation. So figure out where the lack of give and take went, AKA why you fell off the bike and got the bruises.
That's good right there. That's good. And we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But I just want to say a few more things because I know Miss Tiffany made some great points. Listen, breakup season, yeah, it's hard. Like when you go through breakup, yeah, like I said, it's hard. But let me tell you something. Here's the thing about life, man. Like Miss Tiffany said, it's gonna keep going. If you break up with somebody at 9 p.m. at night, guess what's gonna happen right after that? It's gonna be 9:01. So what does that tell you? Life don't stop for nobody, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you breaking up with somebody don't mean the world gotta stop for you. That also don't mean that you gotta stop yourself from getting back out there, like Miss Tiffany said, right? You cannot be scared. You cannot, let that breakup basically bust your confidence from going out to meet somebody else, right? Don't let that breakup control your life like I was talking about, right? Because there's a lot of folks who be like, oh, I don't want to date nobody else because my last relationship. I'm like, why are you letting your last relationship determine where you go in your future?
They didn't
Why
heal.
you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you letting that person who broke you continue to have you broken? If you let that person keep you down, that means they won. They want you to feel that way. Do you understand that? That person who broke you, don't you realize that they want you to be down in the ground? They don't want you to rise. They feel like they've conquered you. And if you let them conquer you, then they've won. You know what I'm saying? You got to rise above that, man. You got to say, you know what? That's fine. If you feel that way, that's fine. But I'm going to go out here and live my best life. I'm going to go out here and find somebody better than you. That's the attitude you got to have. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't for me. That's too bad. You missed out. I'm going to go give it to somebody else who's willing to give me that same attention, who's willing to treat me the way I want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get up off your feet, man. You can't be laying around defeated talking about you ain't gonna put yourself back out here because somebody did something to you. You know what? Guess what? This time ain't gonna stop for you. Nobody gonna feel sorry for you after a little bit. You're gonna have people that's gonna be like, oh, I'm sorry. But after that, they're gonna continue to move on. And if you ain't moved on by then, you're just gonna be stuck. You're gonna be left behind. So you gotta decide, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna sit down and let the pain, allow you to quit, or are you gonna get up and continue to push your pain to your progress, push your pain to your success? Are you gonna let that happen? You're gonna do that for me. So that's what you have to do. You have to continue to be able to go out and live your life. Because if you don't, and nothing happens to you, if you don't get another relationship, if you don't have certain opportunities, happen for you because you decide to sit back and decide to wait and decide to let that pain get to you, that's on you. That's literally on you. There's nobody else's fault. It's not their fault. You can't blame them. You know what I'm saying? It's only that's you. You let them do that to you. You let them allow you to miss out on opportunities, miss out on other great people out here because of you didn't allow yourself to be able to get your confidence back. You didn't do that. Not them. It's not their fault. It's your fault. So you have to continue to have confidence in yourself to be able to move forward and be able to make the rest of your life the best of your life. That's all the time we got. This your boy, Chris Simmons, alongside co-host Tiffany Chanel. We just want to remind you guys, follow us on Instagram at Disinfecting Your Life. You can follow the podcast page. You can also follow Miss Tiffany's personal page at Coaching You to Happiness. Okay, we can get all the updates, all the live streams and everything.
Yes,
Man,
definitely. And to all of my breakup bees, find a connoisseur of you. Okay, find a connoisseur of you. And also my listeners, please follow me on Facebook. My Facebook name is Angel77, Sevenn. Also check that out, as well as I post on there about a lot of projects that I have coming up, anything in the community, and also fun and very motivational daily messages. So definitely check out my daily messages on Facebook and on Instagram at Coaching You to Happiness. Is coaching, the letter U, the number 2, happiness.
All right. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Definitely go check us out on the Disinfecting Your Life Facebook community page, because we actually got that up and running. So definitely go check that out. It's Disinfect Your Life. It wouldn't let me add the suffix ing for some reason. I don't know why they've been stingy with that, but it's Disinfect Your Life. If you want to find us on Facebook, and then on Twitter is Disin Your Life, DISN Your Life 1. Okay, I couldn't do the whole phrase, but I had to abbreviate it. So yes, go check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, man. You know what I'm saying? And subscribe to the YouTube, everything like that, man. And also go ahead and buy the merch, man. Buy the merch. Step towards your purpose, man. Go ahead and buy the merch. I actually got somebody who bought it just before the show. So we
Nice.
getting the sales up, baby. We getting the sales up, baby. So you already know, if you want to go ahead and get you a merch, they're on sale for $20. And we also got some other shirts that's on sale for $14.99. So go ahead, check those out, baby. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and rep the brand. Because we're doing some big things, baby. We're doing some big things. But anyway, like I said, that's all the time we got for y'all, man. This your boy Chris Simmons, alongside co-host Miss Tiffany Chanel. We out. Take care, y'all. We'll see y'all when we see y'all.
Oh yeah.
Peace.